Hello there, welcome back to the Data Channel. My name is Ademi, and if you're new to the Data Channel, here we discuss things related to tech, and stuff like that. So you can check around the channel, look at videos that you may be interested in, subscribe, and also like our videos. Today we're going to be talking about a microphone, a professional, affordable one mic solution which you can use for YouTube interviews, podcasts, and things like that. A Panasonic Boom, a condenser microphone. So this is going to be an unboxing review of the microphone. I got the microphone for less than $15, and just to put some perspective into this review we're going to be doing, what exactly is a boom microphone? From the description of boom, it basically is a microphone that is placed on a boom and used to pick up sound at a distance. But actually it's called a shotgun microphone in more professional terms. It's called a boom microphone because it's usually put on a boom pole in most scenarios, but it's a shotgun microphone. And a shotgun microphone, basically in simple terms, is a highly directional microphone which picks up sound in a certain directional field, and that is what makes it a shotgun microphone. And I'm sure you must have seen it in interviews, YouTube reviews, things like that. And I'm sure you must have also seen it in movies, And the advantage of using something like a shotgun microphone is that it gives that professional, feel to a shot, because what it basically does is that it removes, the sense of having props around. So you cannot see the microphone. All you can see are just those involved in bringing about the shoot. So there is no clip microphone here or there, visible, stuff like that. And it just makes it more, look more natural when, there's no visible microphone. But we still find people using these boom or shotgun microphones, even in interviews, and using it on their camera stand, using it in conjunction with their phones and things like that. And it's because of how well these microphones are adaptable to different situations. So they come in various forms. They come in some of them are more unidirectional than the others, some are more sensitive than the others, depending on what exactly you need. And I'm sure you must have seen some of them are long, some of them are short, some of them are, they have more grills by the side. I'm sure you must have noticed those grills that they have by the side. So basically those grills that they have at the side are, usually involved in what we call phase cancellation. Phase cancellation is necessary to, remove the artifacts that you have in sound, especially when those artifacts are not in the field of direction in which the microphone is placed. So like I said, it's a highly directional microphone, and when you point it in a certain direction, you want to pick up sounds that come in that direction, especially voice. And so if there are other wind noise, things like that, artifacts, leaves rustling, sounds in the environment that you do not want your microphone to pick, this grills by the side do what we call phase cancellation and prevent you from picking those sounds. And so without further ado, we're gonna do an unboxing review and then see what this microphone has to offer. Is this a microphone that you can use for your usual shoots and stuff like that? Maybe you have a YouTube channel like this one, and you want a good microphone that will give you professional sound, or maybe it's just something, not much, and just want something that works well, that doesn't break the bank. And so let's see how adaptable this microphone is, and without further ado, let's get into the review. So the microphone comes in a pack, and the pack is really light, nothing so fancy, and it reads super unidirectional electric condenser microphone in front, Panasonic. Opening the microphone box, you are welcomed by the microphone itself, put just by the side, and then on the other side we have adapters for different mounts. And so the microphone is just packaged in a nylon, no special packaging or anything of that sort, and then just put in a compartment just by the side for it. And then we have the different mounts. We have the mount for a mic stand, and we also have another mount which can be used on microphones, on cameras, on rigs. Just slide it in and then you're good to go. And so that's pretty much what we have on the front part of on the first layer of the unboxing. And then when you get that off, we have the windshield, which there's really not much about that. And we also have the microphone cable, which is an XLR to 3.5mm jack. Then we have the manual. We have some Chinese text on the left, and then we have some other text in English on the right. We have the specifications and then some other instructions. So you read supercardial condenser, and then some other things there which we're not going to be looking into. So let's just get the carton aside for now, and then let's focus on the microphone itself. And so the removing the nylon that covers the microphone, we have the microphone, which is well weighted. It feels good to handle. It doesn't feel cheap actually. There are almost no plastic components to this microphone. Everything feels solid. It feels that it's all metallic form and all that. Doesn't feel cheap, although it's quite light, but it doesn't feel cheap at all. It looks well balanced. And then we have the buttons, and we have the switches rather, and the switch reads off, normal, and tele modes. And so whichever situation you may be in, you may want to use normal or tele mode. And then we have the grooves by the side, which are for noise cancellation. And then we have the top part, which is actually what picks up unidirectional sound. And then going to the bottom of the microphone, we have a space for batteries. It actually uses just one battery, 2 AM. At the bottom we have the jack space, which is actually gold plated, and that's surprising, I mean, for something this cheap. And so without further ado, we're going to test the microphone. And so like we said, this microphone is a microphone that can be used in different scenarios. You can use it indoors in your studio, you can use it when going out for a shoot or anything like that. And because of that, we'll be testing it both outdoors and indoors. We're looking at how well it does as a microphone used for outdoor stuff, and then we'll come back inside the studio and look at how well it does as a studio microphone. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and test this microphone. So this is how the microphone sounds in tele mode. I'm about a few feet from the camera, and the microphone is mounted on top of the camera. What do you think? You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll have to go and listen to it when I'm done with this. So what do you think about the microphone in tele mode? How good does it sound? So this is me in the normal mode. This is me speaking in normal mode. Does it pick sound from around? Compared with the tele mode, is it better or is it worse? What do you think? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And this is what I sound like using the microphone up close in the normal mode. This is how it sounds like. What do you think about it? So perhaps you're doing an interview or something and you want to use something like this. Does it sound well? This is it at some distance in normal mode from me. What do you think about it? Does it sound well? Is it picking my voice normally? Is it picking other artifacts that you don't want in your audio? This is how it sounds straight connected to the camera. I'm using a Panasonic Lumix GH4, and that's how it sounds. So let's see the tele mode now. So I've switched to the tele mode now, and how does it sound? Is it better? Is it worse? Is there any much difference between the two modes? You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you. Okay, so I'm testing this time around with the windshield on. There's actually some wind where I am now. I'm sure you probably must have heard the wind blowing. So what do you think with the windshield? This is in normal mode with the windshield on. Does it block out the wind? The wind is actually blowing now. Does it block out the wind very well? And this is it in tele mode. Is it in tele mode? What do you think about it? Tele mode at some distance, then back to normal mode now. Normal mode. This is tele mode. This is tele mode now. So what do you think about it? I'm gonna put this back on the camera to see how it does with the windshield at a distance. So with the windshield on, well, the wind isn't really blowing now, but with the windshield on in tele mode, this is how it sounds like at a distance from the camera. Now this is in normal mode with the windshield on. Normal mode with the windshield on. The previous one was tele mode with the windshield on. So what do you think about how it sounds now? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Yeah, so we're back at the studio and we've gone to test the microphone outside to see how well it does. So I think the microphone does pretty well. I mean, for that price point, I think the microphone did a good job, generally speaking. If you're going into something that's very, very, very professional, maybe movies or something like that, that's on a very professional grade, okay, maybe you may want to look at something better. But if you're just someone who's just, I mean, maybe you have a YouTube channel that you want to do a few interviews here and there, maybe small jobs here and there that you want to do, I need a boom mic that would do that job well. I think this microphone is a good bargain, really. And so talking about the things that I noticed while testing the microphone, so for the tele and the normal mode, there isn't so much of a difference between the two. I think the major difference we have between the two is that, okay, yes, in the tele mode there's some phase cancellation and the artifacts are not so obvious. The rustling of the leaves, the winds and everything are not so obvious on the tele mode. But I think the major thing rather that I noticed is that there was the sensitivity was increased in tele mode. So it was increased by, I think, a few decibels. So it was a few decibels louder, just not so much, but a few decibels louder than the normal mode. Aside that, there isn't so much of a difference between the tele and the normal mode. Another thing I noticed about the tele and the normal mode is that in the tele mode, this did not happen, but sometimes in the tele mode you could have your microphone picking up frequencies of radio waves around you. So don't be surprised if you get this microphone and then you're shooting in a location and then you are on tele mode, and then you in your post-production you begin to hear a radio station playing, in your audio and stuff like that. In the tele mode, I really don't know what, I mean, they probably didn't do some things well while it's a cheap mic anyway, but just know that sometimes it may pick radio frequencies into your sound, and that may want you to use the normal mode. But if you're just doing things like interview and stuff like that, I think you should just stick to the normal mode, except you are doing some kind of long range stuff. And in that case, if you are connecting it to your camera, for example, something like the Lumix GH4, which I'm also using here, if you're connecting it with, I would advise that if you're going to use it in tele mode, you connect your headphones to hear the feedback, so that you'll be able to know whether it's picking any radio frequencies or not. The windshield doesn't really work so much like that, but I think if you're in a really windy place or noisy place, I think it might help a little bit, but it's a good thing to have too. I really don't use windshields that much, but I think they work anyway, depending on where you are walking, how much of sound artifacts that you have there. But aside that, I think that, so if you're going to be using the microphone in a studio setting, you don't really need the windshield. One thing I noticed about windshields is that sometimes they muffle up the sound and you don't get all the frequencies, like the frequencies coming out like you should have them coming out, So basically, if I'm in the studio setting, I don't use windshields, but depending on where you are, maybe a lot of wind and all that, and maybe you're doing interview, I think it's just ideal for you to use the windshield. But aside that, in the studio setting, in fact right now, in this video you're watching, I'm actually using the microphone. It's overhead, you can see it. Yeah, so this is the microphone just from coming from above, and that's what I'm using to shoot this video. So you can also have an idea of how well the sound is gonna be like. For studio setting, for studio purposes, of course there's still gonna be audio post-processing and all that, but for this video I did not do any post-processing aside denoising the sound. So I mean, there are tidbits of sound in the studio, the fan noise, and maybe a few other things that may cause some slight sound here and there. All I just did for this audio that you have in this video was just to denoise it. I just used on my I use Power Director to edit my videos. I just used the denoise effect, and that was all. So everything you're listening to in this video, there was no additional effect. It's connected straight to my Panasonic GH4, and that's what you're hearing. It's the pure sound. So you can see that it's good enough. I mean, it works well, it's not bad. And for YouTube, for small jobs, for small events and things like that, I think it's your best bet. Is especially when you're in a very tight budget, you really can't afford them Rode mics, Sennheiser, AKG and all that. This is a very good microphone that you can get, and I think it does the job well. Once you know how to work your way around things, I think you'll be fine using this microphone and you won't have any issues at all. What are your thoughts about this kind of camera? What do you think about it? Do you think it's something that can work for you? Have you used this kind of microphone before? What was your experience? You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And what do you think about this video? Is there something, is there a question you want to ask or something you're not sure about? You can ask in the comment section below. And so I think we've come to the end of the video, and thank you for staying to the end. If you've not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel will be fantabulous. We would need your subscribe, we need your like. Thank you very much for sticking to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next video.